Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Crunchyroulette! You probably already know the rules from the last one, but we hit random on Crunchyroll until we find a show that I've never seen before.
I've probably never seen it before.
Yeah, but there's probably going to be a few you've never seen that I'll skip past.
Yeah, but any that you haven't seen before, I most definitely haven't seen before.
Right. This is Shade, my brother! Mega Shaidu, MZ Shaidu nowadays.
MZ.
The phenomenal hip-hop producer behind such songs as Rotten and I'm Mortal and the rest of the songs that will be on the album we're putting together.
Hi, so this.
はい、そうですね。
はい。
これは、クランチルーレット。ルーレット。
グランドスポンサーの提供で。
グランドスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Alright.
I love my Japanese game show voice. Hi, so de. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and hit random on Crunchyroll until we get something we want to watch.
Why do I think death?
Let's find something. I'm doing this from quite a distance from the computer, but hopefully I'll be able to read stuff. Alright, I've hit the random button. The first thing we got is Hatsune Miku Expo 2014. Is that even an anime? That's not an anime.
It sounds like a convention.
It's not an anime. Alright, reroll. Let's see. Neo Angelique Abyss. I have not seen this. Have you seen Neo Angelique Abyss?
I've heard a song by them.
I've seen the title. What?
Sounds like a band name.
It sounds like a shoegaze band.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I've definitely not seen this. That's pretty fast that we got something I hadn't seen. I've seen the name before. I don't even know what year this came out, though. So probably 2013. But, let's give it a shot. Let's find out if it's complete shit. Let's fuck to this, Shade. So we just watched the first episode of Neo Angelique Abyss.
I forgot that was the name.
What did you think, Shade? I sincerely regret that we didn't film our reactions, because we were ripping on this show the whole time, and it was really funny. It was trash.
It was bad.
It was really bad.
It was bad.
It's obviously a visual novel, otome game, a game for women. There's a main girl and a bunch of pretty boys. The main girl has, like, the ultimate power for no reason.
At the end, they showed, like, they started flashing past a whole bunch of, like, guys that looked like they were going to be characters later on. Not a single girl.
No.
They were all guys.
Well, I could tell that from the opening scene.
Right,
like
but
the
it was
cold
like,
open.
Like, those are all the main characters. I'm talking about even, like, supporting characters.
Yeah,
it was just
all
dudes.
pretty boys.
I was just like, oh.
It's very transparent, and it was unbelievably boring. It felt like forever we were watching that fucking episode.
Like, 7 minutes in, I thought that we were near the end, because it just was dragging on.
It was just a non-stop exposition scene, and, like, Shade kept going, like, when and where is this? Like,
it's very confusing.
Because it's definitely some kind of European city.
Right. Their uniforms didn't scream Japanese, and the buildings just looked, like, weird and, like, old,
right.
But also
it
Western.
It looks like it could be set in the, like, in Europe in the 20s or something, but you have no idea. Like, it never clarifies at all. The guy had, like, modern-looking handguns, I guess.
He had a straight-up handgun. And also their clothes, like, the main guy character's clothes were all, like...
Trash baby.
Right. One guy looked like he was, like, George Washington, while another guy looked like he was, like, somebody who'd be wearing trip pants in high school or something.
Look up Trash Baby if you don't know what that means. But it's basically Hot Topic.
I don't know what that means.
Kids. Like, anyone who wears, like, nothing but, like, collars and, like, jackets and shit.
It's a more modern look. I guess it would be, like, a 2000s look.
I mean, I'm sure this show takes place in modern day. It's just in a European-looking town, because that's romantic. Chicks like European-looking towns.
Right. Especially Japanese chicks.
Because it's very rustic and, doesn't feel like your home of big city. This is a show that's, like, everything's geared towards that, like, generic idea of what a teenage girl anime fan would want. I feel like I just recorded a bunch of reactions to the next season of anime earlier, like looking at all the new shows that were coming, and there was a ton of shows aimed at girls, like tons of pretty boy shows, but they all look trashy. Like it's weird because there's so many more shows being made for women now, but they're almost never good. It's always just like totally trashy fan service shows like this, where it's just like a bunch of pretty boys and the girl is perfect. And all the guys are just like all over her, and all they want to do is protect her and look pretty and fight for her, you know.
What's weird about that though is that it sounds like it's the same thing as the good shows, but the good shows are just better.
I don't know. I don't know what good show would be like this. The girl is just perfect. There's a part that they're like fighting monsters in this show called Thanatos, which is the most generic fucking name you could have for monsters in the show.
They look like Pokemon.
There's these big stupid monsters, and they would fight them, and then like this monster's attacking all the people at her school, and then like the guys are trying to fight it, and then she unleashes her power, and the monster just evaporates. Like she grows wings, the monster evaporates, all the people are healed. What the fuck? How do you even have narrative stakes if her power is just that it defeats everything? Like, what the fuck?
Her power reminded me of obligatory Overwatch reference here, and it was just really strong.
What, Mercy? Who?
Yeah, Mercy. Her ultimate is that she resurrects everyone. And I didn't realize it actually has like a limited range. And I was wondering when she did that in the show, because it not only kills the monster, it also resurrects everyone that was killed by the monster.
Right. Well,
and they were like all over the place. Yeah, assuming they were dead.
But oh man, it was a slog. A lot of it was talking about stuff that didn't matter. Like none of that dialogue seemed to matter at all in the long run.
They like kept on mentioning her dead dad, but like she didn't really mention him much. She just kind of like flashed back to like.
What was all like? We joked about a lot of stuff, but I don't even remember what we were talking about. Like, it was it was empty. It felt so long. Oh, it felt so long.
I called that one guy so bad guy because he was all black and red.
He does have that look.
I called that one guy Nardwar because
because he knew about her past. The guy's like your father wanted to be this, and she's like, oh, and she's like, what is he, Nardwar?
She said she didn't want to be a doctor. She wanted to be a doctor, but she didn't want to help him out. And he was like, oh, did you want to be a doctor because your father was a doctor? She's like, what? How did you know? And Shane was like, he's gonna start pulling out her favorite albums now. I'm sure a lot of our audience has no idea who Nardwar is. Nardwar. That was pretty funny. I laughed pretty fucking hard at that. Yeah, alright, well, whatever. That show is really bad. I don't think there's much else to say about it, so we're going to do another one. Do you want to do another? Want to keep the Crunchyroulette going? You think we'll get better luck this time than that one? We might. There's only up to go from here. Oh yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, how badly would you want to watch another episode of that show? I had said 2 before, but I'm going down to a 1. Because I got my answer, like, I just wanted to know, like, what their roles would be. Yeah, I asked that about 75% of the way through, and Shane was like, I just want to know what the fuck the show's about. Right. And then it kind of became clear that it's not about anything. Yeah, it's really, just about fighting monsters. It's just about, the Thanatos are here. Right. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and roll. The Tower of Druaga, I've seen the first episode of that, I think. Rail Wars, I watched the first, 8 minutes of this when it came out. I'm going to count that as watched. Skip Beat, I have seen the first episode of. I remember it being pretty okay. Lupin the Third Part 4. That's the new Lupin, right? Ooh, I think this is supposed to be really good. You want to watch this? You want to watch Lupin? Okay. Alright, we're going to watch Lupin the Third Part 4, which I believe is the latest Lupin. I can't read the screen well enough to know for sure, but let's check it out. New Lupin. Alright, we just watched episode 1 of Lupin the Third Part 4. What'd you think, Shade? I thought it was good. I loved it. I had a great time. I thought it was good. I just last night, for the other Crunchyroulette I did, I watched the first episode of a show called Joker Game, which was like a kid's version of this. And after it, I was like, I want to watch Lupin the Third now. And then I got Lupin the Third, and it was great! I loved every minute of it. It's pretty good.
Beautiful to look at. Oh my god.
Yeah, very nice looking show.
The character designs look incredible. The colors look incredible.
They even had a shot where it was like a zooming, like panning crazy shot over like a building, and it was a fully CG building, but it still kept the same like art style. It was amazing.
I think this one is designed by Takeshi Koike, who did Redline. I believe this one is designed by him.
It does kind of look like Redline.
Yeah, animation's impressive. Everything looks great. The character designs look fantastic. It was a ton of fun. It was very fast. Like, things just kept happening, like, one after another. It was exciting. It was just a kind of a typical Lupin story, but oh my god, Rebecca, my waifu. I think I have officially found a new waifu, Shade.
She was pretty attractive.
Well, first of all, she was beautiful. Because the idea of this episode is that Lupin's getting married to this girl named Rebecca. And my first thought, as the episode started, I was like, oh my god, that girl is so fucking beautiful. And, like, they kind of make it out like she's this, like a genius, but also, like, a gossip hound and, like, kind of a, like, stuck-up bitch, you know? Like, they were trying to paint her that way. And, like Lupin was the only person who could possibly fall in love with her because Lupin reminds me of Marcus. And his ability to, like loves craziness. Right. And loves, like, dealing with, like finds it funny when someone acts that way towards him. But, I was totally on Lupin's side. I was like, this woman's amazing. I love her. I would put up with anything she did. She's beautiful. And then it turns out, spoiler if you haven't seen this episode, she's actually duping everybody and is herself a thief, a master thief, and it was awesome. But I want to marry her myself.
It sounds like she doesn't actually like want to steal anything. She's just doing it
for the thrill.
For the thrill of stealing.
Oh god, she's so perfect. Lupin is always a blast to watch. I love him as a character. He's just this somewhat snarky, like, fun guy, because he's always ahead of everyone else, including his friends.
He's pretty much he's like a perfect troll. He's not like that fake troll that, it's like, I'm just trolling, but you're really just being an asshole.
Right.
I mean, he's being a dick, but he's doing it
that
way that's
it's
like
funny
lovable.
because he's got Goemon, Jigen, and Fujiko, who in this episode they're all pissed off at him. And this is common in Lupin, where he will play with them in such a way that they're always going to get mad at him, but then in the end, when the plan resolves, then they realize that he was, like, they end up warming up to him again, because they realize what his plan was. Yeah. And so it's really funny how he kind of keeps stringing them along, where they're always, like, pissed off, but then in the end, they're like, well, I guess you got me there, Lupin, you know? Yeah, they're all in there, they're all having a good time. Fujiko, as usual, pulling out her... Like, it was a great reversal, though, because they made it look like the way that the plot twist in this happens is that they make it look like it's a classic Lupin III. Fujiko is actually the one doing things, and she was, like, duping Lupin. But then it turns out that Rebecca was duping both of them, and because nobody knew that she was a player in the game. So it reversed your expectations. If you are a big Lupin fan, you would have thought, oh, it's just another Fujiko gets the cake moment, but no, it was a totally new character who got the cake. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And the cake was a crown.
It looks and feels so good. It's so beautiful to look at. So yeah, definitely look forward to watching the rest of that. Could maybe be one of my tops of 2015, since it's on my 2015 must-watch list. So glad I got to cross something off of that, too. What the fuck are you doing? What's wrong with your face? So how badly do you think you would want to watch more of that show?
Like an 8 or a 9.
You think you'd watch more?
I think I'd watch more.
Is that your first time watching Lupin?
Yeah, first ever Lupin.
But you knew the opening theme. You've heard it before.
It's Lupin, man.
Because I saw... Because Lupin III used to come on Adult Swim back in, like, the mid-2000s. And I never really watched it because it looked so old. That's it was from, like, the 70s or 80s. Because it was part 2 that they had on Adult Swim. So that's probably from the 80s. And... But the opening theme, you would have heard 1,000 million times, because they play it in the commercials, and at the start of the show, and in all the trailers for the show on DVDs that I had, so I've heard it like 1,000 million times. Yeah. But I have seen Castle of Cagliostro. I saw the movie that came out in 1991 when I was watching all the 1991 anime, and like a few episodes here and there, so I'm fairly familiar with Lupin. And of course I've read about it over the years. But yeah, what a great way to start Lupin. Cool stuff. Alright, let's watch another one, yeah?
Alright.
Continue the Crunchyroulette.
We're doing it.
We're 0-1 now. We had one like absolute shit tier show and one really good show, so maybe we'll get something in the middle next. Alright, let's hit the random button. Working. Well, we've both seen that.
I think you mean Wagneria.
It did say Wagneria. The Idolmaster, I've seen like half.
It was actually the dub of Working.
Lily C-A-T. Lily Cat. What the fuck is this? This looks like it's from the 80s.
It says it's a movie, but it's 7 minutes long.
Oh, it's only 7 minutes?
Yeah,
what
says
about
7
part
minutes.
2? Does this count? Should we just skip this?
I think we should skip this.
Alright. Because it looks terrible.
It's only 7 minutes long.
Alright,
I can't tell what it's supposed to be.
Hanamaru Kindergarten, I have seen all of. Pretty good. Nisei Monogatari Black, that would be a weird fucking place to start with the Monogatari franchise.
This is Neko Monogatari.
Recon. Have I seen Recon? Yeah, I saw episode...
Would it be Recon?
Recon. I don't know. I saw the first half of episode 1 of that. It was
Whoa,
really
that was some good-looking food.
Cosplay Complex OVA. I haven't seen it. Have you seen Cosplay Complex, the OVA?
No.
This looks like it's probably from the late 90s or early 2000s. Let's give it a shot. That's what we got.
All right.
We have no excuses, so let's see what it is. All right, we just watched the first episode of the Cosplay Complex OVA. You know, it's weird to me that whenever we do this, I always look way taller than you, because you're taller than me.
That's because you're sitting like that.
Yeah. How would you? Now we're just taking up too much screen space.
Exactly.
So, what'd you think of Cosplay Complex?
Thought it was alright. Thought it was funny. Thought it was quirky. Thought it was goofy.
Thought it
was funny.
Blast.
I had a goof, a gaff,
a laugh, and a spoof, and a
giggle,
and a giggle. Yeah, man, it was like a 29-minute or so OVA. It was really funny. I enjoyed all of it. I laughed a lot. It's just sort of a wacky, fun, early 2000s comedy OVA thing. It's super of the era. If you watched a lot of those, like, random, spastic, wacky anime from back then, like your XL Sagas or something like that, although not as, like, ridiculous as XL Saga, but, like, it's in that vein of, like, late 90s, early 2000s wacky fun. Cute girls, lots of fan service, but the fan service was all very diegetic. It was stuff that made sense in the world, not to say that it wasn't fan service, but, like, it was
also straight up
always
boobs.
funny. Yeah, dude, it was so weird, because, like, the whole episode, there's lots of fan service, and then towards the end, all of a sudden, just tits, and it was like, whoa! I was not prepared for that. I didn't even know you could have that on Crunchyroll. Like,
very odd, the nipples were there, but they were skin-colored and not red. Very interesting looking.
Yeah, but the characters were fun and wacky and cute. The fucking lolly girl is the most adorable thing on the planet. Every time they showed her, I was like, ah! I wanted to hug the lolly.
The one girl cosplayed a wall and said wall. While she cosplayed the wall.
It cuts to her as a wall. She's just like, water. There was lots of cosplay. Most of the cosplay was like generic ideas of characters, but then there were a few actual characters. There was Lena Inverse from Slayers, Chun-Li and Sakura from Street Fighter, and Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service. But other than that, it was mostly generic cosplays.
Like a police officer or a nun or something.
Yeah, but then in the ending theme, it showed like a bunch of photos of real life cosplayers, like for the ED. I thought that was creative. But we got to talk about the best character,
Mr. Bald Man.
The bald guy.
His name is Gato.
Gato.
Yeah.
Gado or
Gato.
Gato. So like, because the show is like there's like 4 or 5 girls who are in this cosplay club, and they want to go on to like the cosplay Koshien, the cosplay major competition, essentially. And they're in this club, and there's one male member of the club who is in like a little walled off room because he can't watch them change.
Right.
And he's just like the super passionate, like this is also like very early 2000s to always have this like passionate otaku character who's like, you know, the guy who just is hot-blooded and everything. But he is fucking hilarious. And there's a part where like all these people are like looking into the room at the girls, or like trying to peep, and they have like curtains, like we're closed. They open the curtains and all these guys are peeking. And this dude, like, shoop-de-whoops, like he shoots a giant lightning beam out of his mouth and blasts a hole through the wall and shoots all these guys. And it like happened. It actually happened in universe.
It was very confusing. He just goes like, he says like intruder alert or something like that. He just like, there's intruders, and then just boosh!
Yeah, it's a show where its version of reality is highly wacky.
Right.
There's these two, like, fairies who had shown up through, like, a portal at a shrine. One of them is, like, this big, goofy owl that looks like a Pokemon that's named Ikebukuro. I don't know why it's there. And then there's this little, like, tiny girl who's named, like, Delco or something like that. And she's...
Delka.
Delka?
Yeah, I think it was Delka.
She's voiced by Rie Kugimiya from, like, one of her early roles, probably. She's the voice of Alphonse Elric, is what most people probably know her as, though this is not in that range. Also, Shauna, Louise, and Taiga, the holy trinity of tsunderes.
Ooh.
You know Taiga.
Ooh.
Taiga power.
Mm.
So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I'll definitely watch the other 2 episodes, because it's only 3 episodes, and I had a lot of laughs.
It's macabre.
Would you watch the other 2 episodes of that?
Probably. I probably wouldn't remember it, though.
No, not super memorable, but it is a goof, a gaff, a laugh, and a spoof, for sure. I had a lot of fun watching it. You know, it could... I would say it felt like it would get tiring as it went along, but it was always funny enough that I enjoyed watching it, and had a good variety in comedic moments. So, yeah.
And so I guess that would be the best thing, because it's only
I'd
3
recommend
episodes.
it if you like fun, fan-servicey, wacky comedies from the early 2000s, and you haven't seen this one. It's worth a look. If you like Puni Puni Poemi or something, this isn't quite as wacky as that, but it's along those lines. Or even Panty Pony Dash is in this vein of shows, which is a little later. Alright, one more? Want to do one more? One more?
Alright.
Alright, let's hit that random button, dog. Hyako. I got this last time, and I have seen the first episode. Oh! Why was it so loud? Moto to Love Ru. Well, we're not watching To Love Ru, especially not season 3 or whatever. Saint Seiya Hades chapter, I've seen the first episode of that. Web Girls PiPoPa. Is this that one that's like the shittiest animation ever? I think I've... No, this is not. It's a 24-minute episode. I thought this was like one of the 5-minute show things. A Web Ghosts PiPoPa. I read girls. I'm too far away. I guess we'll check this out, huh?
I guess so.
You've never heard of it either, right? It looks like a kid's show. So let's check it out. Web Ghosts PiPoPa.
Pee-pee.
PiPoPa.
Pee-pee.
PiPoPa.
Pee-pee.
PiPoPa. Alright, we watched the first episode of Web Ghosts PiPoPa. It was really boring.
Very boring.
We both got really bored.
I got really tired.
This is obviously a kid's show, but we both thought that if we were kids, we would not be able to sit through this, because it's so fucking slow. It's just the way it's directed and paced is, like, mind-numbing in how slow it is.
Yeah.
It's like the polar opposite of Yokai Watch, which is like a fucking waking nightmare of of things happening. It wasn't funny or fun, and it had no plot. It took a long time for me to realize it. Like, the main character like moves into a new town. He's like afraid of technology. Then he gets sucked into the internet, and there's these 3 ghosts in there. And the whole time I'm like, what are their... I guess at the end they said that he can't get out of the internet. So maybe the plot is that he's trying to get out of the internet, but it wasn't really clear, because it kind of seemed like he might just get out in the next episode, and then what's the plot?
From the thumbnail,
it looks like he gets out.
He's like got clouds behind him, and in the next one, he's talking to the girl that was in the first episode. That's in like.
So
the
yeah,
human
what
world.
the fuck is the plot of the show? Like, they didn't establish it at all. It was just like everything we just said was everything that happened in the episode.
Everything, really.
His mom is really cool. She's like a hot business lady.
His dad's a photographer.
Yeah, and then the girl is fucking adorable. There's like a girl who's, I guess, the secondary lead character. Really cute. Super adorable outfit. We didn't learn anything about her other than that she exists and has a computer and knows what web ghosts are. I
think she was just making fun of him.
But by bringing them up?
Yeah, she was just like saying like, that's not a thing. You're stupid.
Oh, was she? Well, she's fucking cute. Great outfit. But yeah, the main guy is just a kid. He's a kid. He doesn't like computers. It's fucking boring. It was boring. Really boring. It was really hard to sit through. Like, this one, when the halfway marker came up, we were both like, what? Like, oh no, there's really a whole second half? It's colorful and has a little spark of creativity, but I could not possibly picture watching more of this. Like, even if you... Like, I wouldn't be able to watch this with a kid, you know? Like, because I can't imagine a kid watching it. It's so boring.
Yeah, I imagine they'd fall asleep or just walk
Maybe
away.
If they were, like, really young, I don't know. Do you want to do any more, or
I guess those three things kind of look like Teletubbies, and they had the little thing in their stomach.
Yeah, they could transform.
Teletubbies isn't exactly a fast show.
No.
But it's got, like, stuff happening.
Would you like to watch another show, or are you too tired and you want to go to bed? Do we continue Crunchyroulette for tonight?
Sure.
Really?
I don't plan on going to bed for a while, actually.
And you're down to clown on some Crunchyroulette? Oh, he sucked his own dick. That's how you know that he is down to clown on some Crunchyroulette. Alright, let's give it a go. Why not? Fuck it. Let's hit random. Karen Senki. Did I watch the first episode of this? I think this is like a weird No, what is this? Have I seen this before? I think this is a weird CG show. No, it doesn't look familiar. Want to try... It's only 10-minute episodes. Do you want to try it?
Alright,
I guess we're watching Karen Senki. I'm pretty sure this is a series of, like, weird CG, battle girl type things.
Alright.
Let's try it out.
Yep.
Just watch the first episode of Karen Senki.
That was...
It was a CG show, and I gotta say, it didn't feel like a CG anime. It felt like a video game cutscene made life. Like, the way the characters move, and they don't stop moving. They're always moving. It really reminded me more of, like, a Final Fantasy 13 cutscene, or, like something from Atlas, or a Tales of game, or something like that.
It was pretty much animated like later Ruby.
Well, I've only seen early Ruby, which is garbage, so... but it's... The CG's not bad. It looks like a video game. And the way things are animated is kind of cool. But the events that happen are mind-numbing.
Have you ever tried in a manual car to go from first gear to sixth gear? This show is actually able to do that.
It starts off with the main character and her little sister in, like, a field talking to this robot. It's all peaceful. It's like this beautiful field, like a grassy green field, and they make friends.
You're in a place that you would like to be, doing things that you would like to be doing.
Yeah. They're in this beautiful grassy field, and they meet this robot, and they shake its hand, and they become friends. And then it just cuts to, like, destroyed city, bullets flying, and she's like, 5 years later, the robots took over the world! And then it just keeps cutting between, like, low energy and high energy scenarios. And, like, it goes from this destroyed world, everything's wrecked. It's like a city where everything's destroyed, and she's just fighting, like, an army of robots. And then it's just like, suddenly it's in, like, Shanghai or something. Like, it's some, just in the middle of China,
like
Hong Kong, that's what I'm thinking. She's in, like, Hong Kong in a market, and and she's just like buying food, and then all of a sudden she gets attacked by robots, and then she kills the robot, and then it just continues. And then we meet some other guy who's like about to fuck a robot, is like in a relationship with a robot, it seems. And then we cut back to the main girl, and she's about to make spaghetti. She's like in her house making spaghetti, and then a robot just busts in through her window, and she fights the robot and like throws her spaghetti at it. She drops the spaghetti all over the place, and then like that's the episode. It's just constantly like normal scenario, and then boom, robots, boom, 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 guns, shooting. What the fuck is happening?
I just can't keep all these robots off of my lawn. I just want to make my spaghetti.
Oh,
and
man.
It doesn't really explain like why she's constantly being attacked by these robots.
No,
like,
it doesn't explain it at all.
Is this like how humans are, or is it just her?
It just seems to be her.
Is she like some kind of crazy vigilante? We don't know.
She totally stands. She wears a tight China dress at all times.
China dress.
Everyone else just dresses normal.
Yeah.
And she just walks around, gets attacked by robots, and fights them, and everyone else is like, "What the fuck just happened?" You know.
And she's also got like crazy combat boots that like boost her around.
Oh yeah, she's got boosty boots.
Boosty boots.
It was a fucking mess. It was definitely a mess.
Guys, next time a robot breaks through your window and you shoot it in the face, remember to tell them how rude it was that they didn't knock.
Yeah, she had her one-liner. Oh man, like the action is it really is a lot like Ruby in terms of the action, where it's like it goes straight for over the top, like stuff flying around, camera going crazy, jumping up buildings and shit, but it's like inconsequential and floaty, and none of it matters. It's like, why is she fighting? We don't even know what's going on. The camera's just whipping around and shit, and I don't care. There's no like choreography to it, really. It's just shit flying around, you know? Which is how I felt about the action in Ruby. I don't get how people like the action in Ruby. I think it looks like fucking garbage. But, yeah, would you watch any more of that?
No.
Not even just for a laugh? Because we did laugh a lot. We laughed considerably through the episode.
I mean, maybe.
It was kind of headache-inducing, though. Alright, do you want
I would like to understand who she is.
Or anything. It's a whole, like, 12-episode show. Or 11 episodes, it looks like, so... It was 10 minutes. It felt longer than 10 minutes, for sure, but it was so many things happened, I couldn't say I got bored. It was just kind of confusing and mind-numbing. Do you want to keep going with Crunchyroulette?
How many shows is that so far?
5.
Well, a gun has 6 barrels.
Yep. Well, have we already been shot? Like, chambers?
I guess we got shot on the first one.
Yeah. Does that count? Like, what does getting shot mean in Crunchyroulette? Getting something good or bad or boring or what? We've had two good shows. 2 terribly boring shows. And 1 goof, gaff, laugh, spoof, awful garbage thing we just watched.
Well, that was...
Lupin III was amazing.
Yeah.
Cosplay Complex was fun.
Yeah.
Ghosts PiPoPa was a snore. Angelique Abyss was super terrible, but we did have a good laugh at it. We made a lot of jokes. Karen Senki was abysmal, but it was not boring.
Yeah.
I don't think I could call it boring.
It's definitely like high energy, but also not high energy.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do another 6 chamber. Unico in the Island of Magic. Is this a movie? I think this might be a movie.
It says 91 minutes, so yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing a movie. That's like a classic old school anime. Inferno Cop. I've seen Inferno Cop.
I've also seen Inferno Cop.
Dragon Half dubbed. Well, I don't want to watch it dubbed.
Was Yurt from Inferno Cop or the other one?
Yart! That's from the other one, Ninja Slayer. Fushigi Yugi OVA. How long is this OVA?
Looks like it says
do I have to see the show to appreciate the OVA? Because Fushigi Yugi was like a 39 episode show. I don't know if the OVA came before or after. Let's say skip it because I don't know and I don't have something on me to check right now.
I don't either.
Kono Aozora ni Yakusaku. Oh, that was from last season. I think. This is one about the girls who fly, right? Let me skip in and see if this is it. No, I don't know what this is. It looks terrible. Let's not and say we did. Right? It looks really bad. I was just skipping through to see if I had already seen it. I don't think I have, but it looks really miserably bad.
It kind of looks like a hentai.
Oh, it's definitely a porn game adaptation, like, by the looks of it. Fuck that. I don't want to watch that. Fantastic Detective Labyrinth.
Now that's a title. Have you seen it?
I have seen episode 1 of this. It was really bad. This is from years back. Tohoku Earthquake and Tsunami Remembrance. That's definitely not anime.
No.
Onei-chan ga kita. This is like a 3-minute episode thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, is it? Yeah, it says 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
My big sister came.
Have you seen
in
this?
her pants?
I don't think I have seen this. Do you want to watch a 3-minute episode? Does that count? Do we just keep going?
That doesn't count. That's like a commercial break.
Bleach Season 1. I've definitely seen Bleach. PES, Peace Echo Smile. This also looks like a 2-minute episode. So I guess we keep going. We'll eventually find something. Wait, that said Toyota X Studio 4C was what that show was by. Digimon Adventure. I haven't seen this in 20 years, but I have seen all of it. Wow, do you want to watch Digimon? Yeah, I've seen it before. It doesn't count.
I have also seen it.
I've seen Blue Submarine number 6. I've seen the first episode of 07 Ghost, and I have no desire to see that again. I got this yesterday. Battle Girls Time Paradox. Gifu Dodo! I watched the first episode of this a couple years ago. It was fucking hilarious. It's like one of those so bad that I was entertained by it type shows.
Oh.
And the title is Gifu Dodo. This is a movie, The Princess and the Pilot. Yakitate Japan. I've seen the first couple episodes of that. Card Fight Vanguard G. I've seen the first episode of Season 1. The Prince of Tennis 2. Well, that's a sequel, so fuck that. Another Card Fight Vanguard show. Erased Group Watch. This is not even erased. It's the group watch that they do on Crunchyroll. Listen to Me, Girls, I Am Your Father. I have not seen this. Have you seen it?
Nope. Oh, wait. Is this porn?
It's Papu no Iukoto Kiki Nasai.
Okay.
I haven't seen it. Let's check it out. I have no idea if it's any good at all.
It's gonna be porn.
I remember I've seen pictures of it. It looks adorable.
They got porn on Crunchyroll?
No, they do not have porn on Crunchyroll.
It's still porn.
Alright, let's check it out. Stop. We just watched the first episode of Papa no
That was the best TV show I've ever seen.
Okay. We watched the first episode of Papa no Iukoto Kiki Nasai, or Listen to Me, Girls, I'm Your Father. What'd you think of that one, Shade?
That was pedophilia.
Kind of. It's a show... I don't know how to feel about this show. Because on the one hand, it's kind of adorable, kind of funny, but on the other hand, kind of creepy and horrifying. And I think it's supposed to walk that line.
Like, the title kind of, like, was already like, well, this might be a little bit incestuous. But then, like, the first part of the show was like, oh, well, maybe it's just a guy in college and he's doing some stuff. But then he has to go and babysit his nieces, and they're like little girls.
So the plot of the show is the main character is in college. He's like 19. His sister has married a guy who has daughters by 2 previous marriages, and then they have a daughter together who's 3 years old. And the main character guy it's like a lot of the episode is just dedicated to his college life, and he falls in love with this unbelievably hot autistic girl who is like really intellectual and good at sports, but her personality is completely insane, and she doesn't. Nobody pursues her anymore because they realized that she is strange and doesn't seem to understand human emotions.
And they make it clear that she's interested in him because she sends him a nudie.
Well, she seems to be studying his sexual proclivities for whatever reason. It's entertaining to her. And she had sent him a bunch of lolly magazines right before his sister asks him to babysit her kids. So that's how I'm thinking she's going to end it. Because the way this plays out, it feels like it's telling his story in college, and then it just becomes a totally different story about him babysitting his nieces. But the impression I got is that they're going to get the college girl back into the story at some point, and she's going to join him in babysitting the nieces. But the nieces are one girl who's like in high school who's in love with him. Then the next girl who seems like she's probably in middle school, and I don't think she's in love with him, but they definitely make her like the hot lolly. Like there was definitely some fan service for her. And then there's the 3-year-old who, you know, is just an adorable little girl, but she also looks too old to be 3. She's got like super long hair.
Yeah.
For like long voluminous hair for a fucking child. I don't know. She's kind of adorable. Kind of reminded me of, there was a light novel show recently called Lance in Masks, where it was like this guy protecting this like super little girl who kind of was like that. And it was also one where I was like, am I supposed to be I'm not supposed to be attracted to the 3-year-old, right? Like, that's not what they want me to be, right? Because I'm not, but that's not what they want me to be, right? It's hard to tell because the other 2 girls who are not of legal age are definitely sexualized. But I mean, it's like, it's a little, definitely by the end when he like walked in on the high school girl in her underwear, it was like, okay, this is where it's going, you know, but, I don't know, it's like the show at once is like, alright, here's a bunch of lolly fan service for the like the way you put it was, the big boob girl, like, she's for him, but the other girls are for you, the audience.
Yeah.
Like, that really is how it feels, though, right? Because it's like,
right.
Like, the show wants to pretend like it's not sexualizing the characters. You are. It's your... Oh, you like the lollies. We just think they're adorable. We're not saying, well, he walked in on her in the bathroom, but he wasn't into it. We never said you're supposed to be into it. But, it's all you guys. That's really what it feels like.
Yeah.
Like it is setting up situations for you to incriminate yourself. And they're like, well, aren't you supposed... No. I mean, we put this girl with the huge tits in there. She's the one you're supposed to be attracted to. What? Get your mind out of the gutter. Why are you looking at little kids that way, dog? You know, like, that's how the show feels. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Which, I mean, the college girl is definitely the hottest one, incidentally.
I liked his sister more.
Oh, yeah. Well, in terms of body type, I like his sister the most, but I like the college girl's personality as well.
Yeah.
She's funny.
I don't know if I'm into stoic people, though. She's kind of stoic.
Definitely, like, straight up autistic. Like, I'm pretty sure that was the idea. Yeah, I don't know. She was cool. And his sister is very hot, but she's just like the mom sister character. Like,
right. I feel like she's not gonna show up.
No, probably not gonna be
much.
a major character. But like the little girls, like the little 3-year-old girl was cute, but the other 2 seem like they have no personality. Like, because the one girl, like the autistic girl, is fun to watch because she has like weird, quirky personality. The main character is like friend guy who like lives with them in college. Seemed like he could be fun.
He was totally his wife.
Like, I assume those guys are gonna come back. Like, the rest of his club will probably be important again later.
Yeah.
But the 2 little girls, the ones from the previous marriage, don't seem interesting at all. The high school girl is just, she's in love with the uncle. That's all her personality is. so far. And then the blonde girl is just like a weird fan service lolly. Like, she doesn't seem to have any purpose other than to be a really cute lolly girl. Which, I mean, I get it. As a huge fan of blonde lollies, I definitely had my radar going off when she showed up. I was like, oh. But then, like, her whole personality was that she was there for fan service, and I was like, this feels wrong. Like, I feel like I'm watching porn.
Right. Like, the title, as I had said before, I was like, this is gonna be porn. And I really think if it wasn't on Crunchyroll, and if it was porn, I'd believe it.
Yeah, I don't know. But I didn't dislike it, is the thing. Like, I didn't... It felt like it could go either way, because, like, if it focuses mostly on the girls, the nieces, I could see it being boring. Like, if it goes too much down the, he's not supposed to be attracted to his nieces, but they sure are getting into all these sexual situations, that would be really boring. But the stuff before that was pretty funny, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It could really go either way. I could see watching this and just being frustrated with it. That it's close to being fun, but then not quite. If the nieces had any personality, then it would probably be a lot easier to watch. But they really feel like they're just there for lolly fan service and not much else. Alright, well that's it for Crunchyroulette, I guess, yeah?
Yep.
6 shots fired. I really don't know what to say about that show. Like, I definitely don't think it'll be great, but it could be like it could either be a 6 out of 10 or it could become incredibly frustrating as it goes. I don't know. So I'm curious to watch more of it. But I don't know if I'd finish it. I definitely want to finish Lupin III and Cosplay Complex. Those were both really good. We'll definitely not touch Web Ghosts PiPoPa.
I'm gonna finish you. Continue.
Or the others. I'll never touch Neo Angelique Abyss again.
God.
Karen Senki, though, was tempting, because it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Alright, that's it. Thanks for joining us. It was pretty long, but we had a good time. We had good.
How many of these have you done?
This is the second one. This is episode 2. Why, do you want to do another
Papa
one?
bless.